Hello everyone. Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that everyone dreams of but not everyone achieves: retiring rich. Have you ever wondered why some people step into retirement with overflowing bank accounts, free to travel the world, while others struggle with monthly bills, worry about medical costs, or even return to work to make ends meet? That's the pain point millions across the globe, especially in the US and Europe, are facing: a retirement filled with financial stress, where dreams of freedom are replaced by dependence. But don't worry, today's content will deliver real value. The top 10 tips from actual retired millionaires who've built massive wealth and now enjoy life without money worries. These tips aren't just theory. They're drawn from the real-life experiences of individuals like Warren Buffett, legendary investors, and self-made millionaires from Silicon Valley to Wall Street. As a financial expert with over 20 years of advising high-net-worth clients in New York and London, I've witnessed hundreds of success stories, and today, I'm sharing them to help you transform your financial journey. Let's dive into each tip, because applying them could turn your dream of a wealthy retirement into reality, bringing the peace and freedom you deserve. First, let's start with tip number 1. Save and invest as early as possible. This is the foundation that nearly every retired millionaire emphasizes, because time is your greatest ally in building wealth. Imagine you're a young professional in your 20s or 30s, living in a vibrant city like San Francisco or Paris, where the cost of living is sky high. Many think, "I'm young, I'll save later," but the power of compound interest can turn small savings into a fortune over decades. For example, if you save $500 a month starting at age 25 with a 7% average return from the stock market, by age 65, you could have over $1 million. Millionaires like Chris Gilbo, who retired early through writing and investing, always advise starting with whatever you have, even if it's just 10% of your income. From my experience, I advised a client in Chicago who began investing in S&P 500 index funds at age 28. Despite the 2008 financial crisis, he stayed consistent, and now at 60, he's retired with a $3 million portfolio. The key is choosing simple investment vehicles like ETFs or IRAs in the US, or personal pension plans in Europe, like those in the UK or Germany. But it's not just about money, it's about habits. Set up automatic transfers to your investment account to avoid spending temptations. If you're in your 40s or 50s, don't despair, there's still time, but aim to save 20 to 30% of your income. This tip tackles the pain of procrastination, building a strong foundation, and seamlessly leads to our next tip, which focuses on living below your means to optimize resources. Transitioning naturally, tip number 2. Live below your means, or adopt a frugal lifestyle without sacrificing quality of life. Millionaires like Vicki Robin, author of Your Money or Your Life, often share that they never spent their entire income, always keeping a gap between earnings and expenses. In the US, where consumer culture thrives with credit cards and online shopping, many fall into the trap of lifestyle inflation. As income rises, so do expenses. But truly wealthy people do the opposite. They maintain a modest lifestyle even as their wealth grows. For instance, Warren Buffett still lives in the Omaha house he bought in 1958 for $31,500, despite being a billionaire. In Europe, like in France or Italy, where living costs are high but saving culture is stronger, millionaires prioritize experiences over material goods, like budget travel over luxury cars. From my advisory experience, I've seen clients in London cut 20 to 30% of unnecessary expenses, dining out, and used subscriptions, by tracking spending with apps like Mint or in-app. The trick is the 50/30/20 rule: 50% for essentials, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings or investments. This not only accelerates wealth building but also reduces financial stress, addressing the pain of mounting debt. And once you've mastered spending control, you're better equipped for tip number 3, which is about diversifying income to avoid relying on a single job. Building on that, tip number 3, create multiple income streams to accelerate wealth accumulation. Most retired millionaires didn't rely solely on their primary job salary. They built passive income from investments, side businesses, or real estate. In the US, the FIRE, financial independence, retire early movement, led by figures like Grant Sabatier, who earned $1 million in 5 years through diversification, encourages side hustles like freelancing or selling on Etsy, alongside dividend-paying stocks. In Europe, where social safety nets are stronger, millionaires in Germany often invest in real estate funds or small startups. From my expertise, I've helped New York clients diversify with REITs or start blogs in their expertise, generating $1,000 to $5,000 extra monthly. The benefit is reduced risk. If you lose your job, other streams keep you afloat. To start, assess your skills. If you're a good writer, create content on Substack. If you like investing, study blue-chip stocks. This tip addresses the pain of salary dependence, paving the way for early retirement, and leads to tip number 4, where smart investing becomes key. Connecting closely to diversification, tip number 4. Invest smartly and diversify your portfolio to protect and grow wealth. Millionaires like Ray Dalio, founder of Bridgewater Associates, stress the principle of don't put all your eggs in one basket. In the U.S., with volatile markets like NASDAQ or Dow Jones, they recommend spreading investments across stocks, bonds, real estate, and gold. For example, a retired millionaire in California I know allocated 60% to index funds, 20% to real estate, and 20% to safe assets, weathering the 2020 downturn with minimal loss. In Europe, with a more stable Eurozone, investors in the Netherlands or Switzerland often use global ETFs. The key, from my experience, start with low-cost index funds like Vanguard's S&P 500, offering 7 to 10% annual returns long-term. Avoid emotional investing. Use tools like robo-advisors, e.g., Betterment in the US or Nutmeg in the UK, for automation. This grows wealth while minimizing risk, addressing the pain of investment mistakes, and sets up tip number 5 about avoiding bad debt. Shifting to wealth protection, tip number 5. Avoid bad debt and manage debt strategically. Millionaires like Dave Ramsey, a champion of debt-free living, argue that consumer debt is wealth's biggest enemy. In the U.S., where credit cards with 20% interest rates are common, they advise borrowing only for appreciating assets like homes or education and paying off debt quickly. For instance, a Florida millionaire paid off a 30-year mortgage in 10 years, saving hundreds of thousands in interest. In Europe, with lower interest rates in places like Germany but risks from car or vacation loans, millionaires use the snowball method. Pay off small debts first for momentum. From my advisory work, I've seen Paris clients reduce debt by consolidating and negotiating lower rates. The benefit is freeing up cash for investing, reducing stress, and addressing the pain of debt cycles. This leads to tip number 6, where continuous learning becomes a powerful tool. Building on a solid foundation, tip number 6. Never stop learning about finance to make informed decisions. Millionaires like Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, emphasize that financial education is key. In the U.S., with resources like the Dave Ramsey Show podcast or Coursera courses, they recommend spending an hour a week reading or following markets. A Seattle millionaire I know studied crypto early, doubling his wealth. In Europe, with strong education systems in the UK or Sweden, investors attend tax and retirement workshops. The trick: start with books like The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham and apply knowledge practically. From my perspective, I encourage clients to join mastermind groups for idea exchange. This tip addresses the pain of costly mistakes due to ignorance, leading to tip number 7 about setting clear goals. To guide your journey, tip number 7. Set specific financial goals and track progress. Millionaires like Tony Robbins advocate the SMART method: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. In the U.S., with 401k plans, they set goals like save $1 million by 60. A Boston client of mine broke goals into quarterly targets, retiring 5 years early. In Europe, with pension schemes in Italy or Spain, goals account for inflation and living costs. The trick: use trackers like Excel or apps like Personal Capital. This provides motivation, addresses the pain of uncertainty, and leads to tip number 8 about budgeting. Tied to goals, tip number 8. Create and stick to a monthly budget. Millionaires like Susie Orman stress that budgeting is the roadmap to wealth. In the U.S., with varied costs from New York to Texas, they use zero-based budgeting. Every dollar is assigned. An Arizona millionaire saved $10,000 yearly by planning travel in advance. In Europe, where taxes are high in France, budgeting optimizes finances. From my experience, Berlin clients boosted savings by 15% through tracking. The benefit is controlling cash flow, reducing waste, and addressing impulsive spending. This leads to tip number 9 about tax and healthcare planning. To protect wealth long-term, tip number 9, plan for taxes and healthcare early. Millionaires like Ed Slott, a tax expert, recommend Roth IRAs in the U.S. to avoid future taxes. In Europe, with public healthcare in the UK but rising private costs, they invest in supplemental insurance. A Munich millionaire used tax-efficient investments to cut taxes by 20%. The trick: consult experts to optimize. This addresses the pain of unexpected costs in old age, leading to our final tip. Finally, tip number 10. Maintain health and give back for a meaningful life. Millionaires like Bill Gates stress that health is the greatest asset. They exercise and eat well to avoid high medical costs. In the U.S. and Europe, they also engage in philanthropy to reduce taxes and create a legacy. From my experience, clients find more joy balancing wealth with purpose. This tip completes the picture, addressing the pain of loneliness in retirement. Thank you for watching until the end. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave a comment below sharing one thing you learned today and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your thoughts matter to us, so don't hesitate to share. Reading your comments gives us huge motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us keep creating great content to inform and inspire you. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.